It sucks. And when we're already living paycheck to paycheck, you think we want to put student loans in the mix? No. Fuck the Department of Education. There's a negative stigma when it comes to credit repair, right? That's why I don't like to use the word credit repair so loosely, because of that negative stigma that's associated with credit repair. I like to use credit management, because managing your credit is understanding it first and then managing it responsibly and being disciplined with yourself, right? Because we can either mismanage or manage it. But I did ask my students what were the 5 most popular misconceptions people have associated with credit or credit repair itself. What were they seeing on Beyonce's internet? So there's a lot of misconception about authorized user accounts. There's a lot of misconceptions whether you can or can't repair your credit yourself. That credit repair is quick. Your numerical score is more important than your credit profile. And then there's a lot of misconception about student loans, whether they can be deleted or not, and how they affect you or they not. Do you owe it or not? Those were the top 5. The first misconception, authorized user accounts. Authorized user accounts are a great way to piggyback. However, the misconception is, especially for us parents, sometimes we're told to add our child on as early as 14. Some companies will take kids as young as 8, which sounds great. The intention is great. Add your child on to your account. They will start building a credit profile and reap the benefits of your responsibility. However, me personally, I don't say add your child on until they're about 16, 17, when they're getting their license. Why do I say that? Because they're going to turn 18. They're going to get the benefits of that trade line regardless. But say you add them on when they're 14, and at that time, everything might look great. You might have a great job. You're paying it on time. The utilization is low. However, between 14 and 18, in 4 years, between the time your child is 14 to 18, that's 4 years alone. If you end up having a late payment, you max out the utilization on that card, you're already ruining your child's credit before they even turn 18. So my advice, you don't have to take it or not. I'm not a financial advisor. You do whatever you want. My advice is, if you're going to add one of your children on your card, do it when they're 16, 17, when they're getting their license or their permit or gearing up to graduate high school. Add them on, because they're still going to get the history, the on-time payments, all associated with that trade line as soon as you add them on. However, you're going to give yourself that grace of not having a late payment, not having high utilization, things like that. Instead of giving yourself 4 years, you're giving yourself a year and a half. But your child or whoever you add as an authorized user is still going to reap in all those benefits. If you're not adding a child on, if you're going to take on someone and they're going to add you as an authorized user, make sure that that person is paying that card responsibly. It doesn't necessarily give you the physical card to go and run it up or to put it online, but it gives you all the history associated with that trade line. So their on-time payments, how long the card was open for, and the utilization. Make sure that that person has low utilization. Typically under 10% is best. 30 is like absolute max. Make sure the utilization on that card is low and stays low. Make sure that they have always paid that card on time. If they have a late payment, guess who is going to have a late payment too? You as the authorized user. So don't do that. And then the history. If they opened up that card in 1992, guess who looks like they've also had credit since 1992, as long as you were an adult in that year. Okay, so authorized users are a great way to piggyback on credit. However, lenders do like to see primaries being in your name. However, authorized users are a great way to add, what's the word? What's that fucking word? It's a good way to add weight to your files. You got to remember too, an authorized user, it will more than likely report on your credit profile. But what is unlikely, because of a law that was passed in the last 20 years or so, is if you don't share the same address or last name as the primary, your numerical score won't take effect at all. So you have to be careful with that. You have to be careful with authorized users. You can't just be adding whoever you want. And a lot of people in the industry will sell trade lines. And yes, like I said, it'll report on your profile, but it didn't help you at all. If your last name is Smith and you're adding someone on there that doesn't share the same address as you or your last name, they might hesitate to give that person all the perks of that card. It's going to report on there, but they're not getting any of the perks. With the scammers that are out there selling trade lines, they literally tell you to go change the address to their address to avoid that. They tell you, oh, can you change your address to mine for a while, and it reports. My recommendation is just either add your child, your spouse, someone that's literally in your family. They don't necessarily have to live with you, but literally add someone in your family, or allow someone in your family to add you. That's where I would keep it. And that's where you can get the benefits of being an authorized user or providing an authorized user to someone. Okay, so the second misconception my students told me that they have heard about credit repair, credit management, is that people can or can't repair their own credit. This specific topic pisses me the entire off. That did make no fucking sense. Of course you can fix it yourself. And then there's some people that just can't, right? There's learning curves and patience and time, and everybody's profile is different. So yes, of course you can fix it yourself. You can get your big back in the gym and lose weight and get yourself in shape before summer, right? You sign up every fucking New Year's, but some of us will do it ourselves and go to the gym, and we'll do that. The rest of us will hire a trainer. Why do we hire a trainer? Because for our specific body type, our goals, and our metabolism, they'll come up with a customized workout plan that works for us, a meal plan that works for us. My workout plan and my meal plan is going to be customized for where I'm at currently and my goals, just like your credit. Do we need a personal trainer in the gym? Of course not. But do they help us? Do they keep us in check? Do they yell at us in the morning and to get up? Yes, and some of us need that. Just like repairing your credit, you can fix it yourself. Absolutely. And there's other people that can't, and they want the help. If you want the help, you know where to find me. I would always recommend getting help. At least with my company, we do a free consultation and you get an audit. At least do that. At least do that. And then you can either do it yourself, or you can come back and let us help you and manage your credit and repair your credit. So yes, you can fix it yourself. And there's other people that no, they can't. They want the help, or they just can't understand how credit works, or they can't understand their specific credit, because whatever works for me might not work for you. So when someone is online or telling you, oh, you don't need to pay anyone to fix it yourself, you can do it yourself. Absolutely, they're right. But like I said before, and I say in real life to like my friends and things with anything in life, getting something is easy. Fixing your credit, it's always somebody in the comments on social media, and I say this with love. It's always somebody that says, you don't have to pay nobody to fix your credit. I fixed my own credit. It's always somebody with nothing in their name except a social media account. If they fixed their credit and it was that easy to do, then why aren't we all doing it? Why aren't we all just walking around with the nicest cars, the nicest houses, the highest credit line limits? Why aren't we all doing that? So yes, you can fix it yourself. Absolutely. I'm not saying that you can't, but it's going to take discipline. It's going to take patience. It's going to take time. It's going to take consistency. What are you going to do if you get a stall letter in the mail? They expect you to stop and quit and just say, oh, forget it. I don't know what to do. What are you going to do when you forget to dispute 1 month and then now you're coming back 2 months later to dispute and they forgot all about you? You're like starting all over again. When you have someone like me in your back pocket to help you, we're going to keep everything in check with you. We know what to do when you get a stall letter. We know what to do when an account comes back verified. We know what to do with your bankruptcy. We know what to do if your utilization is too high. We can customize a plan for you and says you need to do this, this, and this, but your spouse might have to do this, this, and this, two completely different things. So it's important to have someone that knows what they're doing and that is passionate about credit management to help you. Another myth about credit repair, credit management that my students brought up to me was that credit repair is a quick fix. Chances are it won't be. I like to, with my individual clients that come to me directly, I am very big on working with integrity, and I like to under-promise and over-deliver. So if I put the expectation in their head that, hey, this could take a year, or 18 months, a year to 18 months. But say we're done with them in 6 months, at least they have that expectation of a year to 18 months. Credit repair, repairing your own credit, it can be a quick fix. If you have been consistently responsible with your credit thus far, then yes, it can be a quick fix. If you just fell short 1 month and got a late payment, if your utilization is high, yeah, pay that right back down. Your score will rebound. Challenge the late payment, your score will rebound. However, if your credit profile is just a mess and you've been living with that for 3, 4, 5 years, just expect that it's going to take at least 1 year to 18 months to repair. Have that expectation in your head. That way, if you fix it prior to that, it's a win-win. A lot of the derogatory accounts on a credit profile will stay, right, 7 to 10 years. So if you can repair your credit in less amount of time than 7 to 10 years, then you won. So it can be a quick fix, but chances are it's not. So if you're looking to buy a house, if you're looking to get a vehicle, a house especially, you at least want to do it 8 months to a year prior of when you would want to close. We're in April right now. If you think you can get into a house for the holidays, you can. It really depends on what's on your credit profiles. Another person could say, I want to get into a house on Christmas, and someone like me might look at their credit profile and be like, no. Why? Because they might need to build. Building only refreshes every month. Your FICO score only refreshes every month. And that's why someone like me says it can take time, because your FICO score refreshes every month. So on-time payments, low utilization, you're building new credit. As far as removing items, there's nothing guaranteed that it's going to get removed. It might take 1 or 2 rounds. If it's low-hanging fruit, it could take 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 rounds of disputing to get one account removed. Somebody might dispute a bunch of items and it might come off in the first, second, or third round. Great, congratulations. However, it might take someone else a year to do something less or similar. So yes, credit repair can be a quick fix, but if it's done the correct way and legally, it's not necessarily a quick fix. Managing your credit and credit repair is honestly like a lifelong process. The fourth misconception that my students brought to my attention about credit repair is that the numerical score is more important than the credit profile. And with the amount of clients that my company handles, that's completely incorrect. The profile is always going to be more important than the score. I personally have clients and have seen clients get approvals when their score is in the 600s, and I've seen clients with their score in the 700s and above get denied. Why? Because it's always the credit profile. What is reporting, what isn't reporting, how it's reporting, it's going to be different. My profile is going to be different than this person's. My score is going to be different than this person's. However, the numerical score is important. It is, but the profile is where you're going to get approved, where no one's approving you based on your numerical score, like the numbers. No one's going to look at it and just be like, 720, that's it. No, they're looking at the actual profile of what makes up that 720. And like I said, I've seen people in the 700s get denied. I've seen people in the 600s get approved. So your credit profile is and always will remain more important than the numerical score. Boom, done. The myth is that student loans can or can't be removed, right? And the misconception is if they're private or federal. Why private loans can't be removed, I can't even fucking remember, to be honest, but federal ones can. Most of us have federal, right? Most of us have federal student loans. Sallie Mae, Navient, Department of Education, those are federal, right? So yes, those can get removed. The misconception comes in is that once it's removed, your financial obligation is gone. So a lot of people are like, I got student loans, I got student loans, I got student loans, I got student loans. And they think that if you remove it, then they also don't have to fucking pay their student loans back. But yes, you do. And that ties into what we were talking about earlier. We don't want to pay them back because we either didn't graduate, we dropped out, we didn't get the job we were majoring for, or the job we were majoring for doesn't even pay enough, right? So like we don't want to, or we just can't afford it. Point blank period. We can't afford to pay it back. So we don't look at it like it's a bill or a priority in our main, like, roof over our head, food, kids, car. We don't add that into the prior. We're like, no, fuck that. But then when you go get a house, they're like, not fuck that. What do you mean? Unfortunately, it has to be in the ranking of the house, the car, the kids, food, student loan. It has to. And I know we all get excited when we see fucking Joe Biden.
What do you want to tell Joe Biden right now?
What's up, baby? Take me out to dinner.
Hey, yo.
Take me out to dinner. We're waiting for Uncle Joe Byron to forgive our student loans, you know? And if you're one of those lucky ones, God bless you. But the rest of us, you got to make it a priority to pay your student loans back. And it's like you have the money to pay for other things, and it's just student loans, Department of Education, Apple Pay. Fucking fuck my life. And when we're already living paycheck to paycheck, you think we want to put student loans in the mix? No. Fuck the Department of Education. But at the end of the day, however old you were when you signed the paper, you signed the paper to get the loan in the first place. It sucks. It really sucks. But when you go to get a mortgage, eventually you're going to want to get a mortgage, right? You could be in your 20s, 30s, 40s, and eventually it's going to come up. You could get married to someone. They took care of their student loans. You didn't, and now your dumbass can't get on the loan for the house because your dumbass owes your student loans and your spouse doesn't. So now you're going to get divorced before you even start. It's just things like that. Like eventually you're going to want to get a mortgage. If it's not for you, it could be for your children. If it's not for a primary residence, it could be a brick and mortar mortgage. You want to open a shop, a salon, a store, or something. Like you can't get it because of your student loans. So I don't even know if are we recording? What no one is talking about online is the Cavers report. The Cavers report is a federal database that debts are all accumulated. So if your name is on that, you signed a mortgage or a student loan in this situation. You signed a student loan at one point in your life. Your name and the debt is going to be on the Cavers report, especially if you want a mortgage. The underwriter is going to pull up your Cavers report and it's going to have it on there. If you go to the mortgage, I had a story time. I had a client that came to me from a previous company. No problem. They came to me from a previous company. They wanted a mortgage, of course. Most people that want to repair their credit are looking to get a mortgage of some sort, right? A primary residence or a brick and mortar. They came to me and they wanted a home. They had some student loans on there. I told them why it should get removed. We were speaking with, I worked directly with loan officers and underwriters. So we were coming up with a customized plan for this client. And we got the student loans removed off their credit report to help with lower their DTI. The mortgage officer, the mortgage broker recommended that we should. However, the client lied that they were paying them back. They lied saying that, oh yeah, I'm in a repayment program. I'm paying my student loans back. So then when it came down to filing out the mortgage application, because my office got the student loans removed, they put that they didn't have student loans, that they didn't have it. They weren't paying anything. They just put it there because they were like, oh, it's off my credit, so it's gone, right? So then we go to underwriting. They're about to close for a house. We're going to go to underwriting, and the underwriter pulls up the Cavers report, and it shows that they have $80,000, $90,000 worth of student loan debt on there. So now, instead of getting their house, they're getting the keys pulled back from the closing table because they lied on their mortgage application and are committing mortgage fraud. So you cannot lie about having student loans. What you should do, if you have student loans, you should be paying them back. Come up with an income-driven repayment program, pay them back. Hopefully Uncle Joe will forgive them in the meantime. I don't know. But don't lie on the mortgage application that you have them. Whether they're removed from your credit profile or not, it doesn't remove the financial obligation. These fucking fuckers.